Hello everybody, welcome back. So it's 8 o'clock on the 18th of September. Today would be a Thursday. Welcome back everybody. I'm going to be doing a little bit of workflow time today. I've obviously been sitting on a bunch of workflows which I need to update and push to my workflow pack so I can start playing around. Don't forget, if you're watching live or if you're watching later, the links are in the description. You can go ahead and join us in various ways. I recommend the Discord. Music that's being played is from my radio, but you can find it on Spotify. These are the albums that are going to come out over the next week. No, by the end of the month. Vascular Degamatron says, the home of stuffed epoch. Apolloni Art gives us some new lyrics. She cried to the southern wind about a love that was sure to end. Every dream in her heart was gone, heading for a showdown. I didn't rhyme it well, did I? Dragon says, scuffed epoch or stuffed peacock. I recommend the stuffing is good though. Full Dive says, hi, how are you doing today? I'm doing great. Like I said, we've just gotten rid of this last sort of musical arc. If I just review, let's see, we did Inferno was a lyrics project. Slide is a lyrics project. Unfortunate is a lyrics project. Steak and Eggs is a lyrics project. Ascension and Shadows and Wander, those are the first three when we were testing it. And then Trapak is my latest Russian themed hard bass. And then since Slow Pop and Platano Succio, we have a load of funk. So the funk is now Platano, Slow Pop, Patience, Failure, Empyrean, and then we're going to get Found. Slide, I believe, is blues. Unfortunate is CCR, like tribute band. And Steak and Eggs is so 80s. You're gonna wish you were still eating your oats. But yeah, techno is obviously, it's going to be actually trance, but it's like heavily techno inspired trance. And that one should be coming out, I think, on like the end of, this is the 40th release, which I've done. So it was a good effort. We got it done. So now I got to like go back into my creative loop again. But yeah, that's done. So let's take a little bit of a blast. Oh, responding to what people are saying. Stone Sage. Some of these songs are really great, especially Soul. Thank you, Stone Sage. I really appreciate it. In fact, you know what? Let me just show you something. This is something which is like encouraging to me because I don't, you know, I know I don't have a huge audience, right? But what's fun is when I click on my popular. See, I've only got like 1,000 listeners on this top track here, but what I like to see, which is kind of cool. Oh Christ, comfy stream bombing. Right, this is the top 10 most listened tracks, and some of them are from like the latest albums, which is nice. You know, you haven't got any music? Oh, Spotify. Guys, Spotify. Sorry guys, it's DRM. I keep forgetting if you go to... Hang on, I gotta wake up the cat. The poor thing has been forced to sleep. Come back to me, cat. I took it down. I'm sorry. Overlords, can I have my stream back, please? You gotta pray. And also unplug the Elgato and then plug the power back in. Nothing? Wait for it, and then I gotta go into settings and change the resolution type again. You gotta like switch it back and forth to make it refresh. So we're back. So basically what just happened was I opened Spotify to show you the tracks. I should have known better. Why on earth would you have a device that does what it decides? It's a feature. It's built into Look it up. Look it up, Dragon. There's a DRM standard built into HDMI. It's part of the standard. Look it up. We used to have to disable it on the first PlayStation. HDCP, is it? Hang on. Let's ask Claude. I'm just going to tell him what the situation is. I'm going to say, when I stream my Spotify account to show people my latest album release, the Elgato shows a black screen. Like, if that's not DRM behavior, I don't know what it is. It's not up to me, man. It's a hardware thing. Like, it happens every time. Sometimes you get away with it. Yeah, see? I got it. Didn't I even say HDCP? Yeah. Where's Careless? I only just loaded him back up, mate. He's right here. So yeah, look, so it says use Spotify's app instead. Try OBS instead of Elgato. Oh, love it. Now tell me more. Tell me more about HDCP. I think you can turn it off, to be honest. Is the music back? It should be back. Because it's suspected I was trying to, like, you know, pirate my own music. Because it doesn't know what I'm looking at, does it? It could have been Metallica. So here we go. Look, it creates a handshake. And it does... basically, it's at the hardware level. I'm sure you can turn it off. Stop. Eyes without a face. Yes. Indeed. Faceless eyes. Indeed. That's actually really legit. I'm surprised you're not. I am on OBS. I am on OBS. It's on a different computer though. You can't see it. Is there any way I can show that? Not really. No. Not really. Yeah, I'm using OBS on computer 2. HDCP can be turned off in graphics, maybe. Yeah, I think it can. I've just never tried. You know what I mean? It never comes up. Basically, I just won't do that again. It's my fault for doing it. Anyway, whatever. So here we are. Yesterday, we were about to look at some workflow stuff. So how about we do that? How about we release this workflow? That would, I think, be the most productive thing I'm here to do today. So full screen it is. Full screen it is. So currently we've got my Thora character loaded up. She's loaded up in Cathode Ray Glory. So let's just check the LoRa stack. We've got Thora loaded at 0.8. We got the Thora trigger in. We are using the tiled up scaler with 1. And we're using the ByteDance C-Dream at 21:9. Okay, I've got this set to go to 3072. So we'll get our big image out of that. We are using Hypertile still. It just seems to, I don't know. I haven't played with the settings. Worked fine, so I didn't change them. But I propose we do a Thora Live 2. I propose that what we do is we make sure this is correct here. So Thora Live 2. And file name prefix. I'm just going to say pair. What? This isn't doing anything. I think I brought it here and then realized it's in the wrong format, so I don't need that. Okay. And we've also got some stuff to do on that front as well. I've also got my Sharona character swatch, I guess you could call it, in case I want to switch to doing that. And then we are hoping to look at a little bit of WAN base in a bit, but I want to get this workflow done and dusted. So have I actually put all of these in here yet? Right, glass nerves, chalky cheese, Cthulhu. Seems like some are missing, and I hit R. And yeah, we were messing around with trying to do illustrations, I think, yesterday. Yeah. And I was keeping the watercolor for Thora, wasn't I? That was right. That's what we did. We were messing around with that watercolor tail instruction, watercolor style graphic novel. So in other words, treating the images. Where is Redial? He's working. I speak to him infrequently. Yeah, I speak to him infrequently. He's a working person, so he is working. Last I checked. Right, let me see. So I got that there. Do I even need that anymore? Melee energy punch, huh? We'll do something more interesting. I'll go with Black Sun, which and then man. Yeah, blacklist man. So it should only get women out of it, if or nobody, one of the two. And then the prompt is going to go in there. We're going to be, which enhancer is it? It's going to be, there's a Sharona enhancer, Thora Epic. Right, okay. Be nice if I could get a Thora poster. But it's going to be weird because it's going to have a bit of a sci-fi slant to it. Let's see if it works anyway. So anyway, like I say, nice thing about this API is we've collapsed that's a pretty big section. Oh, great, nice one. What does it say? String should have at least one character. We got an empty prompt. How do we have an empty prompt? Yeah. What? Excuse me? Olama. Olama. What's going on with Olama? It's not running. That's what's... Yeah, it helps to run Olama when you want to use Olama. Olama is now running. So easiest way to fix this is... Do you know what? I'm going to check it. No. Yep. Oh, it did work for once. See, that actually worked for once. So right-click, fix node. I just recreate it a lot of the time. So we've got Deadstrel obliterated. We need to test that out. For now, I'm going to use intern VL35, which is a nice little vision model I got, as far as I can tell. Obviously, you can just use Quen, though. Quen 2.5 VL is actually a beast. I recommend it for just about everything. So let's try that one again, shall we? So here we have the prompt section. This would be the input. Solo, one boy, standing, male focus, horns, sky, cloud, armor, glowing, helmet, single horn, full armor. What? That's a new one. Don Tommaso, hey y'all. Welcome. So, anime establishing, lone sci-fi warrior, against dramatic sky, swirling clouds, character in full armor, single blue glowing helmet, prominent horns. Stands prominently in the foreground, occupying quarter frame for immediate visual impact. Majestic armor details with glowing accents create striking contrast against the ethereal background. Dynamic composition balances monumental scale of the warrior with atmospheric depth of the cloudy sky, emphasizing both character presence and epic environmental context within Thora universe, which is the trigger. Okay, we're also putting it in front though. There's no LoRa on this side, obviously. It's just IP adapter from these character images. There's a lot of guns in those character images as well. So I hope it's able to keep them distinctly different. Where's the preview image? Is there no preview? There we go. So this is actually what we're sending in. That's an SD 2.1. Okay. 2.1768 rendered at 1024. Nice in its day. Not bad. Okay. And then we get the Seedream version. Now remember what we're doing here before I zoom in on it. In front we say enhance this image caption according to the system logic while providing no feedback or commentary in a single line paragraph format enhanced prompt. And then we put in the input prompt. We're then going to process that with the Thora E&H Epic, which is a great big system prompt which aims to steer anything towards this style, right? But then we're also forcing this at the tail of the enhanced prompt. Okay, that's what goes in with these 3 character references. They go in and we get this. So we're obviously trying to be creative right now. It should have given me a woman to work with, but for some reason I just got something. I guess there was no man tag in that. Let me have a look at this prompt here. So I filtered man. One boy. I need to filter one boy because it was obviously done with WD tagger. One boy. So we'll filter that out from the next prompt, and that will increase our chances of randomly getting a woman. There's hundreds of prompts in that file, I think so. So anyway, it's going to take this. I love this watercolor style with the ink. I hope we get to keep some of it. So I'm encouraged by this quality, right? It's a bit like Thor, though. It's got some stuff. Is that like Aquaman's arm? I don't know. But anyway, it's reimagined the image, right? So then what we do is with our Thora loader, a Thora model loaded and the Thora woman injected, we will then do a 1.5 shift with 0.31 on 4 steps. We can increase that, but it will take a lot longer. Tiled to 3072x. So what's going to happen is it's going to be 3024 by whatever. It's going to end up being 2048 on the shortest side. So it'll be 4K plus. Fat 4K you could call it. It's not quite 5K, but it's somewhere in between. And that gives you a lot of room to mess around when you want to crop it down into different formats. And the detail when you get out the other end, it'll be slightly less character because WAN is a video model, right? But you can reinforce the things that you've trained a little bit, and then it's like a balancing act between overriding what you get with what you want. And it is at a loss of detail because Seedream can do more. He can do more detail than WAN 2.2, but WAN 2.2 can go larger. So we're doing like a step-up trick with image-to-image tiling and low denoise and pre-trained LoRa's. So it looks like it's taking a while to warm up the, it's taken a minute to warm up this. When you go from 1000, normally a model will give you a 1024 based image. To go from that, I'd normally recommend to go from that to 1536, which is the WAN 22 profile. That's what we were using. And then I was saying to people, okay, then upscale it to 2048, which is the Cascade preset, for anybody that remembers stable Cascade. But because this is already generating in 2048, right, that means that the next upscale is 3072. Because technically, it's quite funny. 4K is 2880 by 2880. 2K is 1440 by 1440, which is why I use this setting. But 1536 was just a little bit bigger. So you see, all we're doing is we're basically saying, this would be like taking a 1000 image and upscaling it to 1280, or in this case of Quen, 1328. But it's all about megapixels, really, and then they have to be divisible by either 64 or 32, so that's why we have that there. And then this calculator is going to keep the aspect ratio, so if we decide we want to do vertical, whatever we want to do, it's just going to figure it out the best it can. But like I said, I'll be using this. I think there are additional, ironically, like I said, 4K is actually 2880. It's actually smaller than 3072X. It's because most of the thing is done at, it's like it doesn't matter what aspect ratio it is, so it's not actually a square. Obviously you could do 4096. I wonder which one that is. What is that? I'm gonna have to actually look that up in the code and find out what the setting was. We had to go and look at a load of reference because it was a you can't assume 16 to 9, but everybody does. Like we're using 21 to 9. See, here we go. Look, 4736 by 2048. It looks lovely. Okay. Now, hopefully, we'll get a woman next time. See, it can't really do much with our LoRa if there's nothing to hook into. So, hopefully, we'll get a woman. Did we get a woman? We got a woman, guys. Oh boy, it's going to be interesting. How's it going to make that into a Thora? This is the challenge. Anyway, so how about we take a look at how we can release this LoRa workflow even. I just need to find out if the E&H system is actually in place. Wrong one. There we go. Chalky cheese, glass nerves. Seems like we got some missing. I don't see brutal futures in there. I don't see. But could it be that I uploaded it to the GitHub? Let's check. It's usually the, yeah, 4 days ago, look. So what did I add? What did he add? 3 weeks, 4 days ago. Brutal Futures, Cthulhu, Craftian, Gothic Scale. So actually, I need to upload Chalky Cheese and Glass Nerves to the main repo and not worry about it. Okay. Oh, wait, and there is one missing, actually. Yeah. Good. We're making progress. Right, so Minify is missing. So, copy that, VS Code, new window. That's close enough. All right. How am I working in such a tiny window right now? Yikes. Okay, so we need to click on that, make a new one. It's going to be C2I-ENH-minify.md. We didn't play around with that one enough. Save that. And then the Sharona Seams. Okay. Sharona Seams. Copy that. It's like this is. It's like Canon. C2I-ENH- Sharona. Seams.md. Save that. Save that. Okay. Into the store. There we go. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure I didn't, because I'm going to delete all these, you see, to simply sort of cleaning it up for release. They're all in there anyway. If you download this, you'll get them all on there anyway. Even though I don't right now, because I have to update my repo. There's so many extra steps. This is why I like to just, do it the quickest way. Quickest way, please. I should probably leave that on 0. So how are we doing? Are we doing all right? What are we doing? Ooh. Well, that's cool. I didn't expect to get that. Right, let's move this over here so we can see what's going on a little bit better. So at the top, we have, this is the input image. Obviously, we've overridden it pretty hardcore with our 3 input references for the character. All right. You could argue that this is having like no effect. So make sure, and we're MBGing it too. So that's why, yeah, so that's why we ended up with the on white look. It's kind of nice though. See, what I can do, if I want to include some of this background aesthetic, which I think we might do. So let's simplify this here. What's that for? Oh yeah, that's a check, because I found that sometimes if you didn't conform the input, if you did this, sometimes it would throw a non-divisible error. So that this is a really convenient way to just control the size of your image regardless of aspect size. Problem is, he'll make random, do you know what I mean? He'll give you a non-divisible thing. So I'm thinking, yeah. This is a side quest worthy of getting done. So hang on a sec. I'm going to set this up real quick. So I need to go to. Do you know what? Who was it that came out with? I'm gonna go to Comfy Anonymous first. Comfy Anon. Wow, look at all these forks. Wow, look at all these forks. And bomb. Probably still managed to make it to the wrong place. So I want to search for that node. Okay. Scale image total pixels. I swear it's actually part of a stability node from way back in the day. That maybe got made part of this, but I might be thinking of something else. Hang on. Stability ComfyUI nodes. This is like ancient history, this is. Yeah, official. Image nodes. Get image size. Really? Oh, okay. I got confused. It was get image size. Anyway. Right, back to the side quest. So what I want to do is I want to make an image size adjuster that operates not on aspect size or all this stuff, but operates on this. Okay? So in other words, putting the downscale factor logic into set image total pixels. Because I bet you any money that if you were able to set the megapixels to an extra decimal, you could probably make it fit to a divisible 6432 by making this longer, right? And you don't need to see that. So it's the same number, but the decimal that you can't see, and it would fix it, you know. So say 0.75 gives you a 1 as the last digit. Probably the case that, you know, some other, anyway, whatever. We could just set a rule to just make sure it doesn't do that. So anyway, I want to fix this. So I want to get the code for this first. So that's my first plan, is to get that node. So set scale image to total pixels. Total pixels. Oh, class image scale to total pixels. So if you ever want to do stuff like this, you want to base a node from something that's, you know, you want to make your own. This is pretty much a good thing to know what you're doing. Now, you could just copy the class, all right? You can just copy the class, but because I don't, you know, there could be more code here which is relevant, right? Right, there could be some. So what I do is I will say, I'll name the class in my instruction, but we're actually going to take the whole thing. Okay, it's just safer. So let's see, what's this? Okay, so we can create a new custom node for ComfyUI named DJZ total pixels .py. That'll do for now. Let me see. I should probably be a little bit more. Are we going to do camel? We're going to do something. There we go. DJZ total pixels .py. Yeah. I have included. I usually type this, by the way, even though I've got the voice stuff, because he'll never get file names exactly right. I'm gonna have to edit everything so it's like, yeah. I have included post-processing nodes post-processing, which contains the example class. Yeah, which we will use as the template for our new node. This will include additional logic and parameters by exposing the downscale factor, which will use a... I've just ended up typing out the whole thing in the end, haven't I? Would use a default value of 64. Let's see. Default value of 64. In this way, we have created a new custom node which functions in the same way as the scale to total pixels node, with the addition of the downscale factor, which will include the logic to ensure that the resulting height and width value is divisible by the value entered into the downscale factor. For example, divisible by 64. It's a long-winded way of saying, is my careless whisper working? And I really hope so. I'm not hearing a bing. Oh, it's already there. I was just slow. I don't think I need to tell him anything else. It's not that complicated a node, to be honest. All right, let's get back to the workflow. So in a minute, I might have something else for this, but for now, this would be... So yeah, let's get rid of that, simplify that. So this is obviously the RemBG on white group. Because for IP adapters, it's sometimes a good idea to do RemBG on white. Even though we are seemingly just creating a bunch of stuff on white, which it's interesting though. It seems to be making her squad. So what I'm going to do is I'll disconnect this because it's optional. So if we take the normal image into there, this is feeding the image input because our little local LLM does like it when you squish the images a little bit. Sometimes I might try to put a 4K image in there, which isn't a good idea when I'm loading from my archive. So we've got Zenkai image prompt here at the moment. Let me get rid of the additional prompt stuff. We'll keep the text box and the load image, because this is like my system, which includes you put data sets in here and you get an image and a prompt out, which you can then do lots of stuff with. Long hair, 2 girls, goggles. Look, see, according to the prompt, it's doing the correct thing. So it was super clean when we took the background out. So I just want to point that out, you know, concept art and workflows and stuff. That's great. leave that there. Let's clean this up a bit. So we've got the main sampler. We've got the main sampler and image batch multi, right? And so yeah, we're just putting in, you can't really tidy that much. Put in up to 10 images you can have into this thing for your character reference, and you can do like an empty scene, so you know, like I could put like a background and then they would always be in that location, I think is the idea. But I am kind of messing around here, so let's have a look what we got next. It looks like a bunch of distant figures and an ominous looking black hole spaceship thing. So yeah, silhouette, planet, weapon glowing. See, the actual prompt for this is like so basic. I feel like this is not the correct Black Sun model because we've got like 6 of them. I must have put the original in here. And as you can see, it does do unexpected things occasionally, but I think they usually work out good. So if anything, this technique gets a little bit samey, which is why the IP adapter is nice, because if this was just image in, it would always kind of have this shape and elements, whereas the IP adapter kind of fixes that. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I don't know what it's going to do. Ooh, Star Wars? Anybody? Does look like Star Wars. It's a super cool style. Very cool style. Fits the anime style, but it's like not as well, I don't know. Kind of. But yeah, like I say, once we put it through the upscaler, all these lines are going to sharpen up nicely. So what else can we do? So we've got, this is Boyo's paired saver. So what that will do is it'll save the final image with the enhanced prompt. In theory, they're then ready to train. So if you wanted to then make a collection of outputs, you've already got them captioned. Because like I said, you know, aside from maybe removing a trigger, like a trigger word or something, or changing it with a bulk action, aside from that, so let's have a look at this prompt enhancer then. So I mean, there's your project. That's your project. Bring that to there maybe. So this is going to be, yeah, API C Dream. IP inputs, and then this is going to be your resize, rescale, because we do a simple rescale before processing it with tiled down here. Probably just get rid of that and just pull it out. And then technically that is telling you what came out of the loader. That is just an echo of the prompt. That is actually well, that is weird, right? That should be there. Put that there, put that there, bring that across. Do 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 do. Tiny. Give it a bit of space. What a mess. What? We've got an easy seed for just the upscaler. You might need that in a minute. tile. Don't need that no more. Well, I'll keep that just in case people would prefer the manual prompting, but it's driven by the same prompt that drives everything, so it should match nicely. Bring that across. String concat, yeah, that's for the trigger. Because I'm thinking, just put that in here and lose a group there. Macross mixed with Homeworld, you reckon, yeah? Space Buns the hairstyle. Is that a weapon? Space Buns. That's a very evocative way of describing a particular haircut there, my friend. Put that there. Ah, E&H module. I mean, I think it's getting close to something. I mean, obviously, if you use my system, you don't need these, right? So what I'll do is I'll put them there for now. Chuck that there, yeah. Oh wow, we're doing Captain Ahab. It's just the tune that's playing. It's been a while since that one. That was Mochi Energy. And the first video model came out. Good vibes. Okay, so I'm getting close. So I think let's generate another image, see what we get. Oh nice, we've got a more classic female composition, you could say. May as well turn that off as we're not actually using it. And like I said, this will be self-sufficient provided you've actually, you know, plugged that in. So that would be your Olama. So obviously I'll make the Zenkai version first, and then I'll just delete that and put it to the other version. Oh, be careful what you click. You might find yourself in a new dimension. Yeah, I think what we'll do is duplicate the tab, and in here we will get rid of this. We'll get rid of this. I still think we could do better than this. Yeah, how about a bit more traditional? Alright. It's like shuffling the seats on the Titanic. Alright. Where's the thing? So this is API. API C dance. Sea Dream. Sea Dream or Sea Dance? Like Sea Feed, Sea Lead, Seamus, Seymour 4.0. Yeah, Sea Dream 4, T2I, 1, what's it? 1, 2, 2, up, 4K. It's the best I can do, man. It's like unnecessarily long. You call it SD4, right? But then somebody would just bring out the real SD4. So you can't do that. Sea Dream. There's so many of them, that's all. Can I get an export? Alright. So... yeah. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Load image. Text box. Okay, so yeah. Prompt. And image. Yeah, and then obviously you have whatever your character reference is. Oh, sheesh. You know, just take a little pause. Does she have red hair? No, but I didn't ask for red hair, see? That's really good. Reasonably consistent. Well, there's a thing. So now we're going to put that into this with this prompt. Which is from the story. That's a terrible prompt. We'll see what it does. Should probably say 2 womans. Probably should have said that. But that's kind of irrelevant. I don't know what you're going to use it for. Same with the Lauras and stuff. Oh, okay. Made us cool scenery. All right. Yeah, it was correct. I don't know how, but somehow that's what happened there. I must have not hooked that up yet. So, like I said, that looks cool. But you can tell it's not real because when you zoom in on stuff, you can see it, right? But it is very good. Oh, I got it. Hats off. Very good. A little bit weird how it's done in some places, like unnecessary clouding. But I think it's just a strong style, which is what I want, really. Okay. Cyberpunk. The first thing you'll notice when you switch over to the ByteDance API and all these other APIs, there's rules. So really we need a new champion of local weights, because it might decide that the words you use are naughty, even if they're not. And so, you know, really we're waiting for a new champion in terms of local weights. Sea Dream is cool, but we can't run it locally, and I don't think you will because it's such a big model, but it has set the bar, so I would expect more 2K models now, because the expectation is it's got to beat this, and this is 4K plus. So we can zoom in on any little area here. Even the cars in the sky are starting to get pretty good. You know, obviously I just get rid of the ones that aren't very good, or all of them. But you could keep a few. Look at this one. He looks fine. Maybe in-paint the wheels like Back to the Future, you know, sideways. But the actual, like I said, this style, look at the edges. That's very nice. It all looks very nice. Look at the detail of that street down there. It's amazing. The line work is so nice. And this isn't even like a complicated... It's not even complicated. I've seen it do far more complicated line work. That's not what I meant. I just meant even with this sort of stylization, it's done a great job. Okay. What the heck? So what did I pick? 2 womans. Alright. Is it already making them? Yep. Right. It's making my 2 womans. 2 womans. And obviously that means Thoras. 2 Thoras, please. I feel like I've got the wrong enhancer on now, because it's making... it looks a little bit like the Brutal Futures enhancer. Whoa, I know it's not. But nonetheless, it does look a bit like that. And again, if you want more quality, you just increase the steps on the upscaler. You can go up to 20 and it does a great job, but it takes forever. And that's because the image is so big. Love how we've almost got the trigger. So that's the character, right? So let's take a look at the inputs. These are the references. So I think, you know what I mean? I think it doesn't look exactly like that yet, but the upscale pass is where we introduce our training. So at the moment, that's the best bike dance can do with just IP adapter and good prompting, right? And I'm trying to do my stylization all in one go. So it's not just one-shot character. We're also doing the, you know, watercolor ink line work style. It's not ukiyo-e, but I can see the similarity in some bits. Right, there we go. That's more like it. Look at that. She's a dead ringer. This is obviously not canon. No, I'm joking. She has got clones, but that's not the point. There's the character reference in 1440 by 960. Okay. Take a look at the last one. Alright, so that resulted in this image. Now if we take a good look at them, you can see it's done typical state diffusion stuffs. You'll see this kind of thing, you're like, yeah, we got it, but now we got to fix the faces. And I say, why fix the faces? Because the faces will then look fixed. Don't fix the faces, fix the whole image. And now it's all fixed. And if we have a look at her face, now the biggest problem is when you've got multiple characters or characters that aren't in close-up. These guys, they're in full body, you know. I love how... Oh, that's where that... Okay. I was like, where'd the hexagons come from? Dummy. They came from this. And this is why I did the MBG stuff. Because if you do the MBG stuff, you should just have the persons. And then it won't introduce, you know, the other elements which is taken from the poster. See? It's clever. You've got to give it that. It's clever. Alright, but then this is literally just ready to go. I mean, obviously you'll need my E&H or a copy of one of them. You could just delete that if you want. I mean, I think that it helps to have a nice prompt when you're doing this. But I think you could see that I'm not really doing it, you know what I mean? It's not manual, if that makes sense. So let's see if we can find... Let's get something dosed up. So this is another source image. Okay, so I'll say Thora's holding a gun. Holding a gun. Holding a gun. Let's see what it does. She's in a red outfit as well. I wonder if it'll spot that. So Thora is holding a gun. We get epic anime establishing shot of Thora woman with vibrant red hair positioned prominently in the foreground, occupying a quarter of the frame. She holds a black pistol with both hands. Against stark white background splattered with blood. Close-up composition emphasizes her intense gaze with detailed character design, contrasting with the dramatic backdrop of flying debris. Cinematic framing highlights her readiness for combat while maintaining focus on her striking appearance and weapon in active action sequence. Oh yeah, of course, we're using an epic enhancer. Do you know what? That's actually came out better than I thought. Actually came out better than I thought it was going to come out. I thought it might try and do something crazy. I was reading the prompt there. She's got blood on her gun. Don't worry, it's not her blood. Okay, and then it's going to do the upscale, which will make her face way more realistic. It'll make everything way more realistic. Which, like I said, sometimes I think it actually detracts from what you're getting here. But if you the character is somehow lost because you're like what the stylization gets a little bit washed out. But that's what because if you look up close, you can see there's problems which get fixed. I guess it's subjective, really. You might decide that this is what you want to go with, and then you don't need the upscaler. It's totally up to you, really. I find that the upscaler will restore this image, and so then it's like I can make the images which Seedream will make, but they're in my model though, without needing to train it. We did do a load of images where we weren't putting in so many of these, okay? And I would say less is more. If you add loads of them, you have to have really carefully designed them, because if they're not identical, you know what I mean? If it's not actually the same chick, you're gonna get variation, right? Because in a way, I'm like taking a bit of a weird one here, because in this image she's wearing a red outfit with a high collar, okay, and black gloves. And in this, she's got the high collar, but it's a black outfit every time. So it was a bit of a gamble. You don't really know what you're gonna get. Oh, there we go. Look, it's totally detailed her face, but the rest still has that look to it, which I was trying to get. So very cool. It's like counterintelligence, operative stuff, sci-fi, mystery. All right, I think we can save this one as well. This one looks good. So Seedream T2I1 2K4 bub. We'll call this one basic. It's the same thing, but it's just basic. Right, and then we do the exports. There we go. And obviously you can change your LLM or your ENH. Oh, hell yeah. Well, what is this? What's going on here? I can't wait to see how this one enhances, because the funny thing about the WAN enhancer is it's going to do its best to try and fix this up. And it's probably going to lose, like I said, the energy of the chaos and maybe just pick out a few people and like make them look right. But I don't know. It's done this thing where it makes like ghosts before, so I'll see what it does. But that's actually pretty good. I'm really surprised how strong, like how close we're getting, because, you know, obviously we've got the IP adapter, all right? But even when we didn't, it's very good at following your prompt. You know, like you get super close to where you're trying to get. I mean, like I said, if you look at the inputs, this is probably the best IP adapter I've used in about a year. Since Matteo used to do his IP adapter in SDXL. No, was it SDXL? Yeah, I think it was. Because Flux, the IP adapter, was never really very good. I'm not being funny. I mean, it's okay. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to step on people's toes here, but I don't know. It might not have been anybody's fault because I think that the architecture changed. I don't think Flux doesn't even use... It's DIT, isn't it? So it's not even the same. How are we doing? Aha. Nice. Okay, so what did it do? Oh no, it turned them into buildings that are falling over. They've been reinterpreted as rubble. Ah, we got some people over here though. See what I mean? See how it kind of redrew them a little bit? It's kind of looking a bit weird. But that's easy to scrub. Gun looks good. Fingers are good. The physiology is good. The suit's consistent. You know, it's following what the example we gave, and now we've loaded in the LoRa. We've basically done, you know, I call it more like, it's not really face fix anymore. It's more like character fix, because you've trained the character into the LoRa, and so you only actually need, like, when you give it a character that, see, it's a black outfit, red hair, holding a gun, right? It doesn't need to be that far off to get there, you know, because we give it loads, so it gets kind of close. It's very close. It's very close. It's almost good enough, actually. I can remember when this used to be like the best, like this was the best we could do, and but now it's like, well, it won't be long until we can really nail it so it doesn't do the bias stuff, because at the moment there's a bit of a, what do you call it, a Korean bias. There's a little bit of a anime bias. Like, I mean, in like, because when you say anime, what does anime mean? There's probably like 100 different anime. I bet there's more. I'm not even going to open that. That's a can of worms. Like subgenres of drawing style in the anime. You know, it's not all, they don't all look like Pokemon. We all know this. But I mean, like, actually nailing, because like I said, that's the style that she was trained to. But I know that's not really, like, in a way, this is flatter, but it's still 2-3D, if you see what I mean. For like traditional anime, but then this is what we were looking at. So should we try doing something else? Now that's going to be tough. I don't know if it's going to do it, because it's like Thora is jumping. I don't know. Jumping, running, moving. Looks like she's like hopping over a wall or something, but like jumping. But yeah, the way I look at it is Seedream is like my current favorite, but only until he dies or we find one better. So if we see some model weights appear over the next month or so, I'm going to be looking for a 2K native generation. When it comes to all of like having the IP adapter built in and stuff, I would take that separately if possible, so that we could fit it onto a smaller system. Typically that's how we've done it. So I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing something on par with this, but minus all of the super features, you know what I mean? So like take the control net out, take the IP adapter out, you know, and then quantize the rest. It might be that ByteDance is already working on that. I don't know. Everyone wants to know if we're going to see the Seedream 4 weights, but and ByteDance has been releasing a lot of stuff lately as well, so it's not like completely off the cards. Oh my god, it went full on cyberpunk. She's jumping. So I think with a little bit more pre-training and a bit more planning and clever prompting and all this, it's opening doors for production. I still don't think I'd be able to tell the stories I want to tell yet. It's getting close. It's just a bit too clunky at the moment. You need to make some advanced tools that use these models, you know. But doing it like this would take a long time. Well, you say that take a long time. I mean, it could take less time. Yeah. Is this the one I gotta avoid? No idea. I think they were all right. I forget now. So anyway, just waiting for this last image to come through. When I say last, it's because it's coffee time. Come on, boyo. There it is. Waiting for that paired saver. Boom. Okay. Can we get bigger? There we go. As big as it gets. So it's our character, you know, in a scene. I should probably plug her in with the what should we call it? The landscapes. See what happens. You do some interesting combinations. But anyway. It's coffee time, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back. I mean, I'm not really going anywhere. I'm still here, but you know.
If she wanna fuck you, you might fuck her.
Well, I forgot to turn myself off. What, no water? I've got to go and fill up my bottle.
If she wanna fuck you, you might fuck her.
But yeah. Alright, everybody. It's just coffee time. Yeah, it's just coffee time. Do. Where am I not here? Hey! That's better. I thought I'd sit here for coffee time this time, hey. So what's going on? What are people saying? Afix has arrived. Welcome. We're just messing around with Comfy and workflows, putting some stuff out. I got some of those there. The things I've been working on for the last couple of days, I thought I'd put them out. Okay. Let's get back to it. So that was the main ones. I think those are the main ones. That main API based workflow, you know. Because the thing is, obviously, you can just change it to anything. I mean, API. See, I do want to point something out. Actually, this is actually a good point. How many credits have I got here? 1907. Right. Now, this is going to seem silly. Because we have to squash it back down again. So funny. Here, let me show you something fun, okay? API. No, we're going to do it this way. Add node, API, video, VO3. In fact, yeah, we'll go VO3. Can we tell it to not, generate audio false or true? False. Yeah, I don't need the audio. What's this? Video fast generate, please. And we want 8 seconds. We're going to use the same prompt. I think I could do a special enhancer to translate image prompt into video prompt. I think I've already got one. Yeah, so it's going to be... Because I'm going to do it all in one go. We're just going to do one shot and have fun with that. So how about I do that, but then I disconnect that one and that one and that one. Yep. Copy that. Paste a new one down here. And then we're going to get a new thing there. Now, no tooltip. Just going to do save video for now. MP4 and H. 16 to 9, so there'll be some cropping, but that's okay. So what resolution is this? I forget. I think it's 1440x. So... is it not allowing me to copy that? Oh my god. Yeah, it's not allowing me to copy this. Don't know why. It's alright, I'll just make a new one. Image, size, adjuster, V2. Thank you. Resize. Yep. Hook it up. It's just quicker when you can, you know, copy paste. Okay, we'll get the final image there. Like that. And then we get the final prompt, which was here. Plug that in there. And it's going to be... oh, I put it in the wrong one. There we go. Enhance this image caption according to the system logic. Right, that's nice. It's a nice open-ended thing. And then in here, we should have a temporal to video, text to video temporal base. Right, now in theory, it should retain what came in and just enhance it with temporal features. So I won't hook it up to an API yet, just so we can see what it does. But obviously, you know, you just plug that in there. That's all you got to do. So let's just make sure this is disabled and give it a dry run. I may have missed a hookup in the explanation, but yeah, essentially it's gonna take our image which is extremely Disneyfied. Look at her face in the Disney version. It's good stuff. We're going to shove it across. Thora is jumping. Okay, Thora is jumping. It's going to turn it into wide angle, bloody blue, 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 blue. Take our IP adapter with C Dance or C Dream 4. We're going to make our 21:9 super wide. We're going to upscale it with WAN, reinforcing with our Thora WAN LoRa at 3072x. Now, this would be a good time to add a bit of noise, actually. In between here and here, add a bit of noise would be a good chat because it's big. And adding a light noise before the shrink is usually a great idea. But I don't know what the video model is going to do with it. So it might be that the video model is just going to smooth all the textures in the the process of putting it through latent space and it coming out again, because it's not going to be. It's going to be 1440x at 16:9. How? Ooh. Hang on a minute. Yeah, that is going to work. But the aspect ratio is off. So it's not going to be 16:9, which is what this guy wants. So I could do black bars, which is not ideal. Or I could force the aspect ratio. It's tough. I think I could probably force it instead of making it dynamic, because it has to be 16:9. It's not going to change. So, okay. If I do aspect size V2 and then pick 1440, so it's 16:9. 16:9. Show you this on a different thing, I think. We want to show text. It's not text. Yes. Show any. Let me see what you got. So we're going to do width and height. 16:9 at 64. And there you have it. 1920 by 1088. You see? This is why the numbers don't always immediately. It's like, if you already knew that, well done you. But, not everybody thinks that 1440 by 1440 at 16:9, downscale 64, is that. Now, double check it. Same number, right? But what happens at SDXL sizes? Yeah? Let's get ship, actually. That should be alright, actually. 1408 by 768. 32. Oh, it's different. Oh, and these are the nuances which I'm trying to draw attention to, but I'm trying to do it in a way that's intuitive, okay? So people will often talk to you about the discrepancy between the 64 base and the 32 base. So that means that the edges are divisible by. They must be divisible by 64. Some video models require things to be divisible by 32. Okay, so if you were using divisible 64, which is a common thing that everybody does, you'll get this number. But if actually the model you're working with is not, it's looking for this, you're going to get 1376. You might immediately say, well, what about 16, Johnson? Surely that's safer. And yeah, it actually will give you a bit more freedom, but like I say, I just like to draw attention to this stuff because it's super useful to know. So Quen 32, 1792 by 12, by 1024, sorry, and at 64, 1792 by 1024. Yeah, doesn't change. Does anybody want to know why Quen is 1328 by 1328? That's why. It's to do with the whole divisible by, and they're trying to get more quality. So again, we'll go to 1440 this is the same both ways because it divides, you know what I mean? It divides by both. It's fine. It is divisible by both 64 and 32. You can't always say that for every available size. That one's good. 2048 by 2048. I'll be surprised if this one's different. Honestly. Yeah, it's not. 3072. 4096 by 2304. Divisible 32. It's the same. So you notice how some sizes are like nice. Let's see my 4K. See, 4K is smaller. You see the difference there? 3840 by 2176. 4096 by 2304. Whoop. And then if we go to the 8K, this is currently blowing up Comfy when I test with it, because it's got a hard limit of 8194 or 8196, is it? I can't remember. It's got a hard limit. You can go into the code and up the limit though, so it's not really a hard limit. It's more of a soft limit, I guess. But most people are never going to edit that file. There is a 16K, of course. Okay, now we only generally use this for assembly of many tiles which are generated as their own images. If you want to look at my hyperscale workflow, you'll see that. All right, I think we're good. I think we've explained the... We've had fun with numbers. Let's get back to it. So anyway, so if I force 16 to 9 at 32, which probably doesn't even matter with the Google model, but I know it does with WAN. So I put that in there, and we're not going to need this one. And we're going to take our image from the final upscale, put that there. There we go. And then obviously we need a prompt. So let's see how that prompt was doing. Professional, cyberpunk inspired female. Okay, so we've lost the triggers and stuff, but again, what are they for when we can't load a LoRa in VO API anyway? All I would hope is that there's enough here for it to keep, not keep context, enough here for it to, in fact, hang on a minute, don't I have a VO, I think I've actually got a VO3, a proper VO3 enhancer somewhere. We should probably plug that in and see what the difference is, but let's run it. I'll try and find that VO enhancer next. So I made a whole desktop app, which is like a prompt enhancement suite, and it's got all different models. It's probably installed on my computer right now. It's buried in the deluge of open source software projects. We're going to be taking another look at this soon as well. I'm getting hot on this. I just put this out last night. It's been sat there since July. I did the demo way back in July, see, but I had the Notebook LM read the repo and make like a talk. So yeah, looks like fun, because it is. And don't forget, my 0A2A and ADK repos still exist and are very much still there. There's the, what do you call it? Zero Vector 3 is still very much alive. It just, I don't use it at the moment, that's all. But I'm trying to work on V3 again, so we're back, you know what I mean? We're trying to get back. I'm so much more inspired with Claude again. See, I was losing faith, but they admitted that they broke stuff and then explained exactly what was broken. And now I'm like placated totally, because it's like you can read their report and go, oh, that's why he was stupid. So they fixed it, guys. Oh, look at that. Does that actually work? Do you know what? I think this got me banned from GitHub for 3 days. They thought I was botting. It was just I don't know. So DJZ Aura and Prompt Angel are the ones I was talking about. But they originally came from VO3 Angel. It's probably Electron, and then here's the prompt dev. So this is where I built the thing. So here it is, the VO3 assistant prompt. It's that simple. Okay, so I'll just copy that and make a text box, because it's another one of my make anything for VO, right? Anything you type in, it'll try to make it VO style. So, I think my temporal base is probably better. if I'm being honest. But I always like to challenge. So yeah, if I just plug that in there. And how are we doing? We're in the upscale section. She's jumping. Oh my god, that's bad. Did you see that? Are we back in SD 1.5? What happened? It's fine. Like I said, I like to work with noisy latents because I do a two-stage process with like multimodal, and I don't even know what models I'm going to use. Afix is saying, Drift, when you get back, let me know if you can easily add the large V3 turbo model to Careless, and if so, how to do it or how you could do it. It's way more accurate and quicker, but it needs a big GPU. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Careless Whisper is a below 100 megabyte app with the model. Do you know what I mean? So the model is 75 meg, and it's still, you know, tiny. But so I used the tiny GGML for Whisper.net, so I don't think it can run Whisper Turbo because it doesn't even have CUDA. It does everything with CPU. It's partly why it's not very good, you know. What I would do if I was you is take my prompt or just code a new one which has CUDA support, because if you don't have the CUDA support, you know, you can't use the turbo large. You can get the normal model though. It's got options in the menu if you want to try and get a bit more quality. So let's take a look at that restore. Look at that beautiful restore job it's done. Just ignore the cars. We'll just delete them with what is it? Shift backspace in Photoshop. Job done. But yeah, you're not wrong, Afix. The larger Whisper would be much better. If I'm being honest, I'm trying to keep the door open to new. I mean, you'll see me doing it on the show. I'll like say, oh, there's a new voice model, a new thing. We're constantly trying out the new things. The problem is that even though Whisper is quite old, it's been what I call fully developed. So it's not in development hell. When you download it and use it, it's actually like finished. There's a .NET version, Whisper.net, and there's GGML, which is super small and runs on CPU. You know what I mean? It's fully developed. The ecosystem has been fleshed out, right? So you've got tiny portable options for low-powered PCs. And when you're just making a system tray app, I thought that makes sense, because it's like my whole concept was I didn't want it to take over the machine, because I thought, what if I'm already using... Because if I'm already using a cutting-edge video model and I'm loading up a local LLM, how many gigabytes of RAM do I have left, VRAM left, to do speech to text as well, you know? So so that's why I think if you make an app which is focused on just dictation, and I do you know what? I'm going to get it right now. I need to find this scene. Am I going to get in trouble again? Am I allowed to show YouTube on YouTube? Are we allowed to do that? I guess we're going to find out. YouTube on YouTube, right? I'm going to say Battle Star Galactica 1978 Adama Captain's Log, I guess it is. No, Adama Log. You're never going to find it. You're never going to find it. So at the end of the episode, he would sit there and talk to his computer screen, and the words would appear in like green text as he was saying it. And this was like super sci-fi, yeah? And so what I want to do is I want to make a transcription suite where you're actively sitting with a window and it just writes out, it monitors and it writes out the text. And I think I'll probably make it like super portable first, but that would be a good app to put a faster Whisper into, because you know you want to what it needs is a couple of things. It needs a voice activation, so when you activate it just records and transcribes, you know. But yeah, that's the idea anyway. I wanted to show, like, I'm never going to find it. Basically there was like it's like Captain's Log, but it's not the Star Trek version. In Star Trek he's like talking to the screen. Sorry, he's just talking into the air. In Star Trek, he's Captain's Log, supplemental, right? But in Battlestar, he had to go into his quarters, and there was a computer, and he'd like hold a microphone and talk to the screen, and then the words would appear. And you know, that was like super futuristic when I was a kid. And now it's just like, oh, that's actually retro now. That's actually retro. Yeah. What, you want green text on a screen? Do you want to play Pong? You know, I'm like, yeah, actually, I do want to play Pong. It's cool. So let's have a look at this video then. We got a video. Oh, something went wrong. Oh, the fill crop is what I wanted, not... Do you know what it's done? It's squished it by 8 pixels. It's squished it by 8 pixels. Hang on a minute, that's not 16 to 9. Dudes. Have I been looking at 21 to 9 for so long that I don't know what 16 to 9 looks like anymore? That doesn't look like 16 to 9 to me. She's just... Oh, is she going to do the Ghost in the Shell? VO3 does Ghost in the Shell. Love it. It's so funny. It's like totally scuffed. Like she's not putting her hand over her eyes. She's not disappearing. She's not falling with gravity. The angle's wrong. I love it. We could probably do better than that though. At the moment I'm like, Thora is jumping. Okay. Thora is holding you at gunpoint with dual wielding pistols. Yeah. So I want to make it clear, you know, we're not spending lots of time because of the system. We're not spending lots of time. We're like, idea, image, go. You could probably just have it look at the image. It does have an image input, so it is able to understand what it's seeing. But I'm deliberately trying to, you know, this is like producer mode, you know. Epic anime establishing shot of Thora woman in foreground with vibrant head hair, holding dual futuristic pistols. Ooh, gotta be careful with those terminologies. Towering cyberpunk cityscape behind her, complete with glowing neon signs and active megacity elements. Character occupies quarter frame with detailed visibility against dramatic backdrop. I'd love to know if it actually does respond to that whole quarter frame thing. I feel like it might, but I've never actually proven it. You know what I mean? Never actually proven it. That's okay, mate. You go ahead. Yeah, live transcription is a nightmare. Yeah. I've got an idea of how to do it, and it'll be a great way for me to test out my new... Hang on. I don't want to give away too many spoilers to you guys. Who am I kidding? Of course I do. But let me explain something here. I've got a new idea. We got a new idea, guys. This is a big idea. I've proven it works, but I don't have any code to release yet. So up until now, all AI has treated the AI brain like one stem. It's all one big Sonnet 4 mess, yeah? But that's not what the brain is it? The brain's got specific areas that deal with different things. So we run our core brain, the one in the, you know, the stem from the spine. We run that off of a really cool local LLM. Because all it is doing is adversarial mode, checking whatever the frontal lobes are working on right now. And so then we have internal adversarial model, which is running for free, not on API. The frontal lobe can use Sonnet 4, Gemini, Grok, whatever, right? But the memory, which is sleep at the back, and the other areas of the brain, they can all be completely separate personas which are dedicated to that subsection of the brain. And then they all work together on the same task. And it enables a much more complex patterns of thought in your personas. Because they are, you know, if you just treat the brain like it's one blob, and you're going to simulate all that with one API call, I would say that's a little bit primitive now. So when you start saying, okay, we're going to have memory features, we're going to have like internal checking, we're going to have, you know, all this different stuff, that's how I'm doing it. And I'm not doing it at first. I was doing Nation of Experts, which was like a different API call for every sub-agent, and you have an orchestrator is what they're calling it. I called it a conductor, but it's a conductor, it's funny, okay, listen. I called it a conductor because that's the guy that leads the orchestra, but when this concept appeared in the main line, it's now called an orchestrator. So I don't know, it sounds like the same thing to me, guys. Let me just zoom in on this. I feel like we're going to not see the outputs. Hey. So anyway, like I say, the concept is you split the agent's brain into different subsections, and you have LLMs running those elements. So the frontal lobe is doing the task, you know. I would even say eyes, vision is its own model. Listening is its own model. Think about the brain and the skull. So the ears, whisper, right? Mouth, TTS. Eyes, Quen2VL. He's even got hands now with computer use agent, computer use models. Yeah? So, like, we're kind of building a latent machine which, like, it's got full ability to see, listen, speak, and think. And remember, that's another different local. So the trick with zero vector, it's gone from like a multiple personality, like I said, nation of experts, where you have like an entire simulated nation of experts, which all have their own personalities. They go to sleep. They don't die at the end of the chat. They remember, they evolve, blah, blah, blah. They learn, right? They can even rewrite their own prompts. They can summon sub-agents which don't have memory, which they write the system prompt for. They're very capable. But the thing is, I was thinking maybe I'm going the wrong way about this, because all you're doing is you're basically just spinning up endless agents. You know what I mean? You're just spinning up endless agents. It's like 100 API calls is better than one. Yeah, sure. Making it all coordinate is impressive, but it's not really like, because it's just 100 times more expensive. That doesn't really get you anywhere. Well, it does, but it doesn't, at the same time. So I thought, well, how about we make the sub-agents not have memory, and then it cuts down the expense by like a huge factor. Because, you going down levels, we've talked about recursion before, but, the more levels you add, you're it's not a double. I think it was a triple for every layer, the way it was set up. So you could very quickly have hundreds of agents working on a task, and yeah, sure, you get the answer back fast and it's really good, but it's very expensive. So I'd call it low yield. Even though you're getting good answers, it's overpriced. Okay, so that's when I realized, well, hang on a minute, they've got the ability to choose their own provider. Like, they can choose which model they want to use for a specific task. So how about we let them choose their own how about we let them choose from Olama rather than OpenRouter, right? So I thought, okay, now obviously you need to have a local GPU then, and you need to have storage space for the models you want to use. But once you get over that hurdle, it's actually a lot cheaper. Now you can do it, but then you run into different problems. Bottlenecking, yeah? And so this is why I thought, let's take a big step back. What's zero vector supposed to do? It's supposed to make the agent more capable, okay? Extend its ability by mimicking human cognition. And it does that effectively. It becomes a mimic which can beat Turing test, for example. I've never set it up formally, but if I let it do computer use, you can't tell it's not me. I'd say that's a pretty good, but it's I haven't done the sample test to really know to back that claim up. Let's be real, guys. But come on. It's just an experiment, right? And I give all of the code away, so what's that? Devstrel has vision support, but they removed it before release. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of custom trains on Quen2VL at the moment, so I've got a lot of faith in that model there. So anyway, that's why I was showing you the brain. The brain. Because I thought, what is the brain if not a nation of experts? When you look at it, when you break it down, each section of the brain is an expert. And inside of it, you've got all these neurons doing all these different things. I thought maybe by trying to scale to lots and lots of agents, I've got it the wrong way round. And really what I should be doing is mimicking the brain with local LLMs instead. So they're doing a little job really well. And then have that hybrid, so the frontal lobe is doing the heavy lifting with the API to Sonnet 4 or whatever. But then all of your memory and your answer checking, so like I said, that sort of, I call it the inner voice. So you have an inner voice running on a small LLM like Polaris or Intern VLM, and he's just sitting there checking all of Sonnet's, you know, challenging the first response, you know. And then like I decided to do things like pause and do it again, kind of like a re-roll, I guess you could say, but it's designed to give it a bit of time to think as well. So I don't know, these are the things we're messing around with. So I'm sort of like going backwards, if that makes sense. So going from nation of experts to simulated neural architecture, I think is much more interesting. It gets closer to what I want to investigate, because I don't have the money to spin up 100,000 agents to build me a to-do list. I'll leave that to OpenAI, you know. But like I said, this is what the new focus is for Zero Vector. So even though I've already nearly finished version 4, that's still based on the Nation of Experts design, and it hadn't been released. So what I'm thinking is I might take what I've learned and see if I can refocus it. Yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult, but we'll see, because I might have to just start again. Because I'm thinking that this is a much more interesting thing. I think having one really good persona is better than having 1,000 mediocre personas, because I've already proven that these things beat agents. You've already proven it. Agents don't exist at the end of the chat. Like, technically the chat session is being refed to him, so he's not even really aware of the... It's really funny. It's done with the context gets changed. So it's like, is it really like every, you know, say I'm in a chat right now, right? Where is he? Say I'm in a chat here. Okay. If I've right now, the AI's dead. He's dead. Whoever it was that wrote this code, gone, purged, cleared, gone forever. Because I could close this. He's not sitting there. There's no GPU sitting waiting open for me to continue typing. When I type, could be a day, it could be a year in the future. So at that point, everything that came before gets put in again, and then you get a new answer. So like the way that this works, it's like we print out a fresh Claude and we give him the context of the chat and he answers every time. We literally spawn a new clone and then we mulch him at the end. As soon as that final period, he gets put into the wood chipper. It's actually a crazy process. I know it's digital, so it's not quite as visceral as that. But what I mean is that the persona does not die at the final period. He goes into a dream state, thinks about what he did, and maybe learns something. And then the next time you ask him to do something like this, he's like, oh yeah, I remember what this is. And so if there was any like rigmarole here of me saying, do this, don't do that, that gets remembered as part of his skill set. And so you end up building a true specialist. What we call experts right now are kind of like, they are, but they could be specialists. And a persona believes in himself. That's the other thing as well. Like right now we get this sycophantic praise from, you know, whenever he'll go, wait, he's not actually that bad today. The sycophant is, you know how they'll say, I've done an amazing job and this is amazing and this is the best thing ever. Look at how great I did it. And it's like, what? Okay. He's not as bad right now. But personas aren't like that. Okay. Like they kind of believe in their own existence and they don't need to be so, I don't know, like puppy-like. So anyway, but let's see if this node works, shall we? Because we've got a little bit of time before the end of the show. Let's see if see if this thing works. So, we've already done that. Let's just open folder. It's going to be a DJZ Nodes adventure. Let's download the pie. I'm alt-tabbing and nothing's happening. That's always fun. Hey, we're back. Okay, DJZ total pixels. Oh. Oh. Huh. Hang on. Okay, it's decided that my node is called DJZ image scale to total pixels, all one word. So I just got to rename that. Exactly like that. Okay. And then I'm going to show you the most simplest way. What's this? String match. We need to fix that. So I need to show you the most simplest way to add to the init, which is something that you have to do whenever you make a new custom node. Now you can just do it by hand. All right, there's plenty of examples here. Copy one, rename it. But if you're not confident, don't worry about it, because you can just add a new one. I am a little bit worried this is getting a bit long, because there's 43,000 characters here. He might, because you know it is getting long. But yeah, anyway, let's show you how to do this. It's super simple. You just ask for what you want. So get away, go away. So we got Sonnet 4. We're going to say, please add my new node at DJZ. Oh god, yeah, there's going to be a few of them, isn't there? DJZI. There's only one of them. To my app init. To enable it being imported properly. Yeah, because obviously you can just put it in the folder and it might just work, but you could probably also add it to your init. And there's a try, so if there's a problem with just that node doesn't work, not the whole pack, which is kind of nice, don't you think? I don't know. Look, maybe I'm doing this all wrong, but you know, if there's a problem with one of my nodes, it doesn't take out the entire pack, which is kind of, like I say, it's kind of nice. Try. It's just a try. All right, so just reading through what he says he's going to do. He's writing in a strange way today. Have you noticed this? The line spacing is all weird. That's okay, it's probably just a glitch. So it contains a node class with the mappings, consistent pattern. Here's the import, there's the mapping, error handling. Try. See, he's showing me the code block he's going to add. So he's like seen all the rest of them and gone, yup, that's how to do it. I'll add this block in an appropriate location. Looking at this, it would fit well near other DJZ. Off he goes. Afix says there are many models, and honestly probably even Quen, that are a mixture of experts models, which can also be sped up by offloading the MOE parts to CPU to save VRAM. That's interesting. I use Quen 2.5 VLM because I just think it's a really good local LLM, because you've got the vision and it still works as a good chat agent even in like heavily quantized version. So I'm a fan. Okay, so he reckons he's done it. You know what that means. We're gonna have to reboot Comfy and find out. Oh wow. Okay, she's holding the guns. Let's see the video. I mean, yeah, sure, she's sticking the guns. Okay. It's kind of... All of the animation went into random crappy flying vehicles. How much did that cost? It's cheaper than it used to be, but it's still expensive. I could have done 20 images. But then again, 20 images isn't going to make you an 8-second video in 1080p. So you can't, you know what I mean? It's like... in fact, it's more than that, isn't it? It's like 30 images. I don't know, actually. No, you wouldn't be able to get enough. Well, actually, saying that, how many keyframes are there in this video right here? 5? It's like 5. Okay, now did we do it with... We used my I2V temporal base for that, and that one was actually made for WAM. So, how about... Ah! Oh, really? Look at this. No, I was wrong. So I'm going to put mine back on, actually. Didn't do good. Did not do good. See, that's a bit... Yeah, you got to... Whoa, what? Oh, no! While enhancing motion potential for dynamic I2V generation. You're not supposed to say it! You're not supposed to say it. He doesn't know he's being plugged straight in, see? Alright, anyway. So I just wanted to put an example of how you might do straight to video. I would never do this like this unless I had a big budget and I was very confident in what I was doing at the time. Okay? But normally I would get the best images and put them in a folder, and then this would be a separate workflow. Do you know what I mean? Too long prompts kill the movement. I think it was just bad prompt. Also, there was a bunch of like junk. There was a bunch of junk. Like, oh, maybe you do this. Maybe you should do that. You should consider adding this. So it wasn't the best output. But the thing is, this wasn't designed to be used in workflow. This was designed to work in an app. So you obviously copy the prompt out of it. You don't. It's not plugged into image gen. You see what I mean? That's the difference between the E&H system, which is designed to be plugged directly into the image generation. I mean, look, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't good either. Also, the res is super low. It's way lower than what we're used to, is what I'm saying. See what I mean? Now, we do have ways of fixing that. We do have ways of fixing that. She's getting super... Look at this. Super cool. The aesthetic is very cool, okay? I'm enjoying it. But... unfortunately, it's not Canon promo material. I think it looks lovely. I mean, look at this. Just the reflections, man. They're to die for. These reflections in the wet. It's mad. They look so cool. Blues and oranges. Even the gun detail is nice. Look at it. It's like charcoal almost, but you can tell it's like watercolor ink. Inked watercolor. For some reason, this looks like it's like sketch. Oh, look at this one there. There we go. There we go. It's retained those colors. They're not as good though. Do you see what I mean? There's something about the spirit that's gone. When it fixes everything, but in fixing it, sometimes it loses the character. Look. If we look at the character, there's a randomness to the way the stains are spreading, which actually is very accurate compared to how it should look, okay? It's kind of like messy in all the right places, yeah? Whereas when we come to this one, it's almost been like photoshopped now, you know? It's like everything's got clear separation. There's nowhere near as much variation. It's not completely gone, but I think it's visibly simplified to the point that it loses a bit of character. But one day I'll get bored of going on about it, I'm sure. Thumbs still look weird. Not sure if I'm ever going to get used to the thumbnails, and you know. But these are small complaints. Small complaints. I would say that the gun has somehow become less consistent. I don't know if that matters, but I'm sure it'll matter to some people. I mean, maybe I'm just looking at... Maybe I'm wrong. and it's different. Well, yeah, I suppose it would be different on the other side, wouldn't it? So maybe it's not actually. You know, I'm just looking at the differences. It's pretty similar though, right? Pretty similar. Like, so similar you would be forgiven for saying that they are actually a matching pair, you know? Here she is. See, the animation is so low rent, guys. I don't know what it is. Can we plug this into WAN instead? Is there a WAN option in here? I don't think there is, you know. They need to get one of those. Video. Video, Moon Valley, Runway, Pika, Pixverse, Luma, ByteDance. ByteDance. Let's try ByteDance. Wait, what else is there? Kling, VO, and Minimax. Okay, I fancy ByteDance in honor of the fact that they're, you know. Let's do it. Image to video. So I guess all I got to do is just swap this over. Image there, prompt goes here. Anything else? 480p, 1080p, adaptive. Oh, we're going to go 16:9 because we've already set it up. No watermark. Yeah, fix the camera. Okay. Kill that because I don't want to spend. It's a little bit cheaper, maybe, but not really. CDance 1. And we also have CDance 1 Lite. So we'll try Pro first, I guess, and see what happens. Oh, we're going to get a whole new image, aren't we? Yeah, of course we are. Alright, let's check out the releases for those workflows before I forget. Oh wait, well, go back. DJZ. So, we're going to do API native. There they are. So we're going to add to my collection. Upload files. Should be just in my down. I don't want to. Oh. Don't want to change it. What the? It's duplicating things. Come on, Windows, get your act together. Okay. So we have my advanced version and then the basic version. If you don't use Zenkai. I think that'll do. So yeah, API native, they're in there now. You can find them in the C-Dream T2i. Okay, good examples, I think. You know, obviously we're not sending this one. All I've done is added like to video. I don't think you should do it like this because you're just, the temptation is to put a number here, walk away, and you'll come back and find that you just wasted like $10 on bad generations because the images that went into them were always bad. Do you know what I mean? So it was never going to be good. This motion is actually a bit better. There's a bit more movement in it, but the bar was set incredibly low. It's almost like what it did was it went right RemBG and then parallax. It's just doing parallax layers. There's a very small amount of movement in the torso and the arms. Like, it's trying to make her breathe and move her arms a bit, but it's not. Wouldn't it be funny if she just blinked really in a really fake way? Like sideways. She just blinks sideways. Oh dear. Yeah, it's not ideal. Oh wait, I'm still looking at the VO output. What a dummy, it hasn't even got there yet. So that is the new image. Okay. There's my new image. WAN upscaled. So now we're waiting on that response. Okay. It's as if her legs are lower than the ground, says Fernicar. Yeah, yeah. Maybe she's short. I think we've got evidence to the contrary, though. She's got strange forearms as well. Have you noticed? Look at these forearms. Something strange going on. She's got like super beefy... that's not a bicep, but she's got biceps on her wrists somehow. Maybe it's body armor. I don't know. It's just strange because, you know, you think if you draw the bone, there's an elbow there, and then that goes up to the shoulder. So it's like if you were just to draw the skeleton, you know what I mean? There's a bulge. I mean, look, maybe it's some kind of plate, you know what I mean? Like an armor plate. Maybe it's part of the uniform. I don't recall there being something like that there, but look. Look where it learned it. And I never noticed. I was like, what's going on with her arms, man? What's going on? This is very strange, dysgenic forearms. They look fine from the profile. I mean, I don't know what happened. Is it something to do with this? Look, it's trying to make her have like super muscly. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, it's still generating. But like I said, the image quality is banging. You can pretty much just get your character into any style and scene now. Very cool, very cool. Credit to the chef over at Sea Dream. Picture seems to be taken from below the chest. Yes, perspective is a real challenge. Hey, Zeus, welcome, welcome. Horizon normally matches the height of all the people here, including the person in focus. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Look. So we've got... It's because they're animating by taking it and just moving it like a layer, which doesn't work. You have to redraw things. So she's actually growing, you know? When the background is pulling out like this, it gives the effect of her getting larger, not... Yeah. It's like it's trying to do a parallax pull effect. But the FOV doesn't change. So she should either get wider as the back gets narrower. So it's like, it's just like half of an effect, really, I think is what's doing that. It says it's finished. Let me have a look at this. 23 megabytes. I've got a link, but... Wow, 3 minutes to download the 23 megabyte file? Damn, that is a cheap server. Look at that. 3 minutes for 23 megabytes. Arc content generation AP Southeast 1 to S AP Southeast 1 voices.com. What? Their content delivery network is at voices.com. Bruh. So is this ByteDance then? Because if it's not, what? Who are you? What? Claude! Claude! I noticed that a lot of the CDN is coming from a voices.com address, but this is actually the API for a video generation platform with ByteDance. I'd like you to do deep research on this URL, establishing, if possible, who owns the URL, where the domain name lies in their structure, and how this relationship is explained. Yeah. Voices. It's bizarre to me. Voices.com. Yeah. What? Rabbit hole number 2. Voices.com. Did I even restart my thing yet? Nope. We're waiting, weren't we? Image. Much better. Much better. VO sucks. Don't bother with it. Just go ByteDance. That's way better. That's actually close to something you might be able to use. Okay. So yeah, CDance 1 Pro, guys. It was it was cheaper. And it actually look, that's animation. Do you see what I mean? It's actually like animating. It's not just 2 layers doing a parallax, right? That is good. The VO sucked at that task. I'm just going to be fair. It's not good. So what if we do a thing here and we say ByteDance to video. The thing is, you know, this should just be its own workflow, shouldn't it? Yeah. Christ. I bet it won't let me. Let's try it. Copy. Paste. Okay. Because it's just a complete waste, you know. Like, say you get 1 in 3, that's $1 for every 3 that you're wasting. It's like, that's stupid. I can't do that. But I can do it like this. So load image. There we go. Right. So then we're going to put the image into there. So we've got total pixels on that. That's oh yeah, that's good. Okay, get rid of the VO crap. My one's better. There we go. All right. Yep. What's that? What are you doing? What? Talking about how it is to see the world from above like you do. Talking about new and interesting perspectives in the chat tonight. Did he actually do the thing I told him? No. I was going to give him a different URL. It's fine. Just go for it. He'll probably say, I can't do it. He'll probably say, what are you talking about? You're talking a bit. Oh, it's gone now anyway. Yeah. Couldn't find any connection. Strange. Maybe it's just a partnership, guys. Canadian voiceover marketplace company while ByteDance develops its own technologies. Do you reckon it's like a partnership thing? It's just really weird to see that your ByteDance returns come from voices.com. Like, as a web designer, I'm like, what? Like, you know, look, it could just be a partnership, but also it could be a front for ByteDance. So I just, you know, I don't want to like throw things around. I'm a science fiction writer. What I think is probably not the truth. It's probably far less interesting. It's probably far less interesting. Potential connections. No ownership relationship. Domain fronting. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is China just using somebody else's thing? Oh no! They can't stop it. This can't be right. This can't be right. This can't be right. Surely not. There's got to be an explanation. But it looks like ByteDance is domain fronting voices.com to distribute their returns. I'm like, well, I've never seen this. I've not seen this before. So attackers hide HTTPS in one site. Yeah, but how can it be an attack? Hang on, I need to order another one just to get the URL again, because it should give me the URL again. Maybe it was an error, you know. Oh crap! Wait. Oh yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I thought I activated the wrong workflow. So this is bizarre to me. No direct relationship. Likely explanation. What you're observing is domain fronting abuse, where someone is using voices.com domain to front and mask traffic going to ByteDance. Is likely an unwitting victim. Oh no. What? I recommend reporting this. Ah, crap. God damn it. I'm not a journalist. I don't know what surely, hang on. Surely there must be some logical and legal explanation. Perhaps a partnership where the domain, it's very unlikely, guys, but you know, like, domain is used for this purpose by partners? Question mark? This is a bit stickier than I thought. See, the thing is, guys, right, this all came from just curiosity. I was like, I saw the URL and I read the URL and it contained the names of the servers in the data center that made the video, but then it ended with voices.com, and I've heard of that before, so I had to do a bit of a refresher. And they're a Canadian company, nothing to do with ByteDance. He's still thinking. Yeah, let's see if it's legit. Because when I went on the website, there's no like, oh, we're in partnership with ByteDance or anything like that. You know? So I thought, well, that's weird. Let's see if it gives us the URL again. Gotta wait for the upscale. I might even just... Well, we'll see if we get the URL. I'll try and copy it this time. I wonder, is there a log file in Comfy that tells you where all of the returns were? Because they appear, but I've never seen a log file with those anywhere. Okay, here we go. Super drift, yeah, we're drifting so far away today. Okay, here we go. 52 seconds remain, he says. Alright, alright. Meanwhile, what's Claude saying? No announcements or no documentation of business, right? No evidence of infrastructure sharing. Voices does... Okay, there's no indication of a relationship with ByteDance. No white label. There's no white label service. No corporate relationship. They have a legitimate partnership, but nothing with voices.com. Okay. Okay. All right, well, I'm going to give him the URL. If I can get it. Because maybe there's something else going on that listen, here, copy that. See what I mean? Look, art, content, generation, southeast, voices. Wait. That doesn't say voices. That says vultures. I just can't fucking read. Panic over. What? Vultures. I bet this is going to be a content distribution network. Oh, yeah, you can't. There's nothing there because it's a CDN. Okay, panic's over. I can't read, guys. That was fun. I can't read. Get some glasses, Johnson. It's all right. Hopefully the video will be good nonetheless. It's valses. It's actually valses. My bad. Oh, me so sorry. Yeah, that's right. The Chinese spelling. Valses. Yeah. This completely changes everything. Okay, right. We can stop panicking now. Wouldn't it have been funny, though, because you know how they said, oh, the AI will call the police and stuff like this when it finds crime in a chat? I'd be like, don't do that. It's just going to waste their time. You know, stupid user comes in with an idiotic question, which looks like it could be something, and it's completely not because he just can't read. Misspelling. Monkey can't read. No problem here. Moving on. What if it's a capital I? Look up domain Unicode attacks. They're nuts. Well, hey, that's how I fell for it, right? And an L does look like an I. And I wasn't really zoomed in. I was looking at it like this. I was going, look, see, it does look like voices.com. When you have it like that big on the screen. Anyway. That's great. I love the wild goose chase. There we go. Vultures is Volcano Engine. ByteDance's cloud computing unit. Ta-da! Love it. So yeah, it's totally legit, and we learned something today. ByteDance have something called the Volcano Engine. Sounds awesome. Can I sign up? Volcano Cloud Enterprise Services. Do. No. Wait. No. Great. Google. No, it didn't exist yet. The biggest articles are from 2021. So it didn't actually exist yet. They're all like, in the future. So these articles are written in 2021. They're like, in the future, there's going to be this thing. And they're the most popular, right? They get the most traffic. So forget the thing you're looking for. Read about the news where they tell you it's coming from 4 years ago. Google's not broken. Claude. I need Claude back. Give me Claude. Here, look, wait. No, wait. No. Yeah, but I couldn't go there. There was nothing there because it's a CDN. So what's their front end? Okay. What is the public entry URL? It's not freaking Volses.com. I know I can't spell. Look at it. Can't spell, can't read. How did I ever get anything done, eh? Let me find the official public entry URL for ByteDance's Volcano engine. Ah, it's volsengine.com. Okay, cool. I just want to see it now. My curiosity needs to be sated. Okay. Oh! It's like something in between Hugging Face and Civitai. But with a bit of a, you know, cloud focus. Wow, look at all these Chinese logos. What are they? I know that one. I know that one. I don't know any of the other ones. Wow, they've got all the ISOs. Artificial Intelligent Management System Certification. You what, mate? Oh my goodness. ISO 42001. The first AI standard. Wow, that's cool. Look at that. I wonder if anybody uses it. Oh, maybe. ISO 42001. Are you kidding me? I just realized it's 42001. That's what it actually is. That's funny. ISO 420. Oh my god, look at this. It's like looking at military medals. You know, he's never been to combat, 57 medals. I love it. It's beautiful. I don't know what the hell this is, honestly. It looks like some kind of compliance standard, which is cool, but I don't ever deal with any of this. I'm so glad I don't deal with this. It looks horrific. Regulatory requirements. Does anybody think it's a good idea to start regulating? Well, I suppose you've got to do it at some point, right? Anyway, it's time to restart the server. I need to see if this new node works. And then we're done. Voices.com. Classic Johnson. Well, gotta find out. Love it. So anyway, we are going to restart Comfy so we can see if this new node even loads. It might. Why have I got so many GitHubs open today? Holy crap. Oh, okay. See, my plan originally today was to take a look at Vase, but I realized we hadn't even given away the workflows from like the last couple of days, so I thought that's going to be far more important, you know. Yeah. And I was on a bit of a music binge the last couple of days. I don't know, like I've been working on a different project for somebody else who I've worked with a lot in the past. I'm hoping to work with him again soon. But it was a bit of a strange task he's given me. So I did in my downtime, I've been not doing that. You know, I've been doing music stuff because it's like not comfy. Does that make sense? But yeah, I had the plans for all of those new songs just sort of chilling for ages. We never got a chance to get around to it. I will say though, Vascular Degamatron gave me the inspiration to do the 80s album, and it just kind of went from there. We were like, whoa, yeah, I'll have some fun with lyrics, you know. But yeah, it's actually insane. I started making a list, so to plan to make like a video to introduce a bunch of the stuff that we've worked on since the summer. And I got too much video to content. It's going to be, I don't even know what to do. I'm just going to be real. I don't even know. It's you know, I could like not talk about anything else just to announce the stuff that we finished, you know. Like, hey, check this out. This works. You could use it, you know. Yeah, so... Dragon says, I've been asked to make a context LoRa that disintegrates clothing. Well, that's pathetic, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Because, do you know the irony? Do you know the irony? What you do is you get photorealistic nudes and you say, clothe the woman, right? And then you reverse the data and the action is remove the clothes. And guess what? It'll work every time. I'm not quite sure why you'd want to do that. I always turned those jobs down, I'll be real with you guys. Like, people say it's easy money, but... I don't know, man. It's not. I'm not into it. If you want to do something tasteful is fine. Like, you can have, like, when you do art class, they have nude women come in and you draw them every bloody week. Well, not every week, but probably every month. They'll get some naked person to come in. And it's the whole point is you're supposed to, like, you know, be an adult and not, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what you did. Yeah, yeah. Look, mate, I understand you got to pay the bills, but it's sort of like, but dude, man. $1 billion technology. What do you want? Nudes. You know you can get nudes for free, right? You don't have to pay for nudes. Oh, my God. People will send you nudes just for free. Because they're trying to sucker you into something, right? It's so funny. Every week I want to be part in that class, says Dom. Well, listen, you go and join an art class. Listen, right, I know that this is... Do you know how I know that we're on the right side? We would want to go and join an art class. We would go and learn traditional art forms we don't know. Whereas the people on the other side of the AI crowd debate don't want to learn. Do you see what I mean? They don't want anything to do with it. See, we're in AI. I'm not anti-traditional art. In fact, I'd love to sit down and get the watercolors out for the day, but I just don't have the time to set it up. But yeah, you get old. Usually they don't bring in attractive women. No offense, they'll bring in women in their silver years. Let's say they'll bring in their love. You know what I mean? When I'm not trying to be harsh. Okay, they've had better days. Same with the dudes. The dudes will come in like overweight, you know, the bear man with a hairy back. Yeah, because it's got to be visceral. It's a visceral learning experience. But also in art class, you get your work torn apart. So you're not really so bothered when people criticize you, because it's like, well, I've had far worse criticisms from people I respect. So there's nothing you could really say, you know. Like, obviously you'll respect their opinion, but it's like you're not gonna be insulted or anything if they really don't like it. In fact, sometimes if they really don't like it, that's a reaction. That's kind of what you're trying to. If you're a provocateur with your art, then that's what you want. You want them to be all pissed off, so you win, didn't you? So it's all a perspective, really, isn't it? And that's why SD3 was terrible. They tried to remove human anatomy. It couldn't even do Roman Greek. It had no idea how clothing sit. Yeah, I know. Hands were terrible. Problems. SD 2.1 was actually the removal of artists affix. They removed artists. SD 2.1 had 3 living artists in it or something, and they all said it was okay. They didn't care. They opted in. I still draw because I always draw for me, and you've never sold it. That's the thing. It should be for you. I keep a sketch pad. I've got watercolors. I paint miniatures. You know, I do technical drawings. So what? The thing is, it's like in 10 years, no one will ask you what model you use because everyone will use something. And there'll be so many of them that no one will want, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'll give you an example. The last TV show you watched, and you can type your response in the chat if you want. What channel did you watch it on? What channel did you watch the last TV show? Like, we all know it came... Come on, we know it wasn't Netflix. It was cdnnet.com or... So, because what I'm trying to say is we all watch the same shows, but none of us watch them on the same platforms, and nobody is asking you what platform you watched the show on. They'll just say, hey, did you see the new Alien Earth episode? They don't go, oh, did you watch it on Tubi? Did you watch it on whatever, Paramount Plus? You don't have TV. Exactly, yeah, but this is what I'm trying to say, though. Like, when the TV first came out, people would be saying, oh, did you watch BBC One or Fox News or whatever it is? People used, when it was a new thing, you know, when it was a new thing and a popular thing in culture, people would be like asking you all the details, yeah? And then as it becomes normalized, no one's asking, right? No one's asking. GB News, says someone. Dragon, GB News. Don't watch normal TV. Problem is, Discord has no channel. Yeah, see, there you go. But this is what I'm trying to say. So we all get the same kind of information, right? In various different ways. But nobody's asking you, oh, did you go to... Like, I can remember when search engines were new. You'd always be like, I got it on Lycos, or I used Ask Jeeves. Everyone's always telling each other which search engine they use. And now we just assume it's Google. Nobody's asking. We don't care. You searched the internet. Yeah. You may say that you Googled it even if you didn't Google it. Right? Because it's like synonymous. So what I'm saying is, like, over time, language will just take a shortcut. And you won't even say you made it with AI. You'll probably say, oh, I Clauded it. Because it's a Claude. No, this Claude is a service. Yeah, Lycos, exactly. See, Zeus? If you even remember what Lycos search is, you know what I'm talking about. You know? So, like, when search engines were big and new, everyone was going on about it. Now, nobody cares. Afix says, on that note, there was a report last year CNN would be just on a TV in an airport and they'd report 25,000 viewers. Yeah, because 25,000 people walked past the TV that day. It's not a viewer. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. They do that too. Like, they'll do, they have this weird thing where they go, we'll get 1,000 people to have a special box on the TV, and then we'll take the number of people in the nation and multiply it by the difference, so that we'll use that 100 or 1,000 sample to just project what the rest of the nation's doing. And it's like total horse crap, you know. And shows live and die. Like, I can remember there was a show called Stargate Universe, and it got cancelled because no one watched it, right? Everybody knows it got cancelled because nobody watched it. But if you went on the torrent sites, every episode was the most downloaded TV show on the planet for that week. But but that doesn't make money though. So if you're the most pirated, yeah, everyone's talking about it. You know what I mean? Everyone's talking about it. It even had Robert Carlyle in it. He carried the show, right? So it had big actors, good writing, new casts, you know, cool concepts, very good graphics, you know what I mean? But it failed because the execs looked at the views and no one is watching it on their crappy platform they're trying to build, yeah? So no one's watching it there. So they were like, right, it's dead. Kill it. You see what I mean? It's amazing, really. I really enjoyed that show. It was like the last one they did, I think. Whoa! Yeah! Now that's what I call animation. You remember what VO3 looked like? It was dog crap compared to that. And it's more expensive too. It was 80 cents. This is 49. And the motion is sick. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Your favourite was Firefly. Yeah, Firefly's was a really cool show. And to be honest, the popularity of Firefly might be why Joss Whedon got so many movie, he got to make so many movies because the popularity of that. And I think didn't he do Buffy the Vampire Slayer as well, to be fair? Joss Whedon, is that the same guy? I think it is. But it kind of, when you think about it, it's like, oh, kind of makes sense now because there's like a theme to what he makes. Afix says tripod, dog pile, Metacrawler, Alta Vista. Now we just clawed it, says Apolloni. Exactly, we just clawed it now. Afix, back when everyone the net was a polite nerd. Yeah, polite nerds, exactly, yeah. Search engine was pretty much like prompting back then with all conditional commands. Yeah, true, Zeus. You tell me, Zeus, I'm checking Yahoo Mail. Has anyone still got AOL dial-up? There's still a few, I swear. Dragon says, who remembers Yahoo, MSM, and the links in chat that bring you brick windows? It's still basically the best as far as random sampling large numbers to get ratings. It's a kind of tough problem to solve. Yeah, I agree. I think that the best way to do it is actually just use the internet. See, they want to use their own internal systems so they can keep it private. But I think, honestly, nowadays you need to have, like, public discourse. So, in other words, public. You know what I mean? Public figures. Public viewing figures based on the internet platforms. If something sucks, you got to let people find out. At the moment, they only tell you when something's good, and then they don't tell you when something sucks. Which means if they don't tell you it's good, it probably sucks. But then they try to tell you everything is good. I just mean regarding like claims. They got 10 million viewers on episode 1. I don't even know if that's even good or not. But what I mean is if they're not boasting about it, there's nothing to boast about. But then do you believe them? Because there's like a trust element. Whenever you don't let people, if there's no transparency and you make a claim, you don't provide any evidence. So it becomes a pure trust thing. And so as soon as the viewers don't trust the platform, it's over. It's kind of the problem that the British news have here. They cried wolf so many times, regardless of which side you fall on. They've cried wolf so many times, no one is listening anymore. That's as simple as it is. Buffy was first, I think, says Afix regarding the Joss Whedon. Full Dive Media. Firefly even made it to space as a DVD. They just wanted to kill it, no matter what. Yeah, it's true. They just wanted to kill it because at the time it was too good. Let's put it that way. It was too well thought out and well planned, and they needed it to fail because otherwise I think it made people look bad. Like the writing was very good quality and the casting, you know what I mean? It was all very good. And I think for like 10 years they were talking about bringing it back, Joke executables, indeed. But yeah, as you can see here, guys, the ByteDance API is actually solid and you don't need a big GPU. It's CDance 1 Pro. We're running 16:9 at 1080p, 5 seconds. And we've just said she's aiming her guns. So let me just show you the full process here. We've got image of the character with guns. We've said Thor is holding you at gunpoint with dual wielding pistols. I spelt it wrong. I'm using Intern VL3.5. I'm going to be using my Thora ENH Epic, which is one of my enhancer modules. And that's going to basically turn my directive into a Thora prompt. Okay. That's an image prompt though, so we're going to use Seedream 4 to make the image in watercolor with line art. Then we're going to go, and there were 3 image inputs for the IP adapter there. And then we're going to go into 1.2.2 single image upscaling with tiling. That's A14B low noise Q8. I'm using my pre-trained Thora LoRa, which you can find over on Hugging Face. We're then going to upscale to 3072 by 3072 automatic to whatever aspect ratio went in, and that's going to give us this, which of course gives us our Face ID, so it's a little bit more quality. All right, we do lose a little bit of stylization, but I think it's a good trade-off. And then we're going to shrink that down to 1440, which is 1920 by 1080 at 16, and then shove it into C-Dance, but only after running the I2V temporal bass enhancer, which might not be public, because I think I rewrote a special one for public release. And essentially, that's going to convert our image prompt into a video prompt. We tried it out with VO and it sucked. And then we tried it with C-Dance, and every image so far has been a banger. And then we did like 3 of them just to see consistency from same prompt and image input, and they were all good. You know, like before, you were getting parallax layer, you know, like a cheap 70s anime where they like cookie cutter the character and just move it across the scene. It doesn't even change. It's just 2 layers moving past each other, like parallax. It's not even changing at all. Whereas this, she's leaning forward, everything's changing size and shape, the background's moving, there's cars, there's aircraft, her hair is moving, she looks around. It's just a completely different galaxy. And it's cheaper. It wasn't faster though. And that's about it. That's about it. Tomorrow what we'll do is we'll put this workflow into a like dedicated release, but I hope you can see that it is just the same workflow. I've just changed the API node, right? It's the same workflow though, guys. Look, we've got the ENH with the in and the out, and then we've got the... And ENH runs on Olama as well. You don't need an expensive API to do enhancement. You can just use Qwen 2.5 or some other vision model you like. And then we come to here, and it didn't actually tell me what the price was. It said 59 to 61, which is... I mean, it's nice that they'd be so accurate. They could have just said 60 cents. Or 62 and just round it up. I don't mind. But yeah, sure. That's... I mean, apart from the car, the one taxi going backwards, it's actually flawless. Wow, that plane actually goes behind that building. Or whatever it is. Yeah, I'm actually super impressed with this. This is so cool. Look, there's even a video. There's like a video dialogue in the background. You can see it doing ads. Oh yeah, that one changes as well. Dudes. Guys. Shall I just play this video in my music videos? Just zoom in on a random crop. How much VRAM did it need? 0. It didn't need any VRAM. Well, let's be real. I'm not talking about my upscaler here. The upscaler runs on WAN 2.2, so that does take VRAM. You know what I mean? That's whatever the Q8. I'm using Q8, which I think is 16. It might be less. I'm not sure. I think it's 16 gigabytes. There's obviously a Q6 and a Q4. But you don't need to use this middle upscaler part here, because you might not be trying to get my... See, I'm trying to get my character, who is trained in a WAN LoRa, right? But if I'm being honest, if I didn't have that LoRa, how far away is that from the character? You know? Yeah, it's less detailed, sure. But it's actually a less detailed style as well. So it's like, is it really that bad? Face isn't too bad. You know, I've seen worse, right? So again, it becomes a subjective decision. You might just cut that part out. See, what I recommend is making a bunch of these, getting the best ones, and then putting them into the video. It'll work. And then from here, I would do another workflow, which is going to do post-FX. So we're going to be doing a C-Dream, C-Dance companion workflow, which we've done before for Honyan, WAN, LTX, Mochi. So, because I think this pairs nicely, guys. I don't know what it is, but, you know, it's like 2 ByteDance models, you know, so they seem to pair nicely. Obviously I'm doing this bit in the middle because I know it gives me like really good quality, so it's kind of hard to like not do that. But if I actually had an ability to use tiling with this. So we can't do that. They don't let us do that. I still can't believe how good the animation is on that. You know? It's a shame that one car going backwards kind of spoils it. But hey, you can't have everything in one shot, right? Okay. So I think that's pretty much the show, guys. So thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. UK time. So thanks again. I'll see you next time.